Rick Santelli here live at CME HQ with very significant breaking news. Our June preliminary read on University of Michigan sentiment is historic. This series goes back to 1978, and the lowest read is 51.7 until right now. 50.2. 50.2 is now the new lowest read going back to record keeping. It can be changed, we know that, because it is a preliminary reading, but it is significant nonetheless. Current conditions, huge drop from 63.3 to 55.4, and expectations 46.8 versus 55.2. And the news isn't any better on the inflation side. 1 year inflation at 5.4 equals the cycle high from March, which is 5.4, and that was the highest since 1981. And on the 5 to 10 year inflation outlook, 3.3 is a new high, and we have to go back into the Wayback Machine. That's the highest since 2008. So these are very significant numbers and definitely much worse than expectations. We see 10-year note yields, after having a lot of volatility on the CPI number, actually trading briefly under 3%, is now zooming up 8 basis points. Remember, 320 is the intraday high. It's at 311 now. 313 is the high yield close. We're getting very close. Carl, back to you.
All right, Rick, appreciate that. Rick Santelli. Good Friday morning, everybody. Welcome to another hour of Squawking the Straight. I'm Carl Quintanilla with Mike Santoli and David Faber. Live.
What does all of that mean? It means there's absolutely no leadership in this marketplace. There's absolutely none. I can walk around a little bit, so this will be good. Stand here. Things are bad. The University of Michigan sentiment number is a broad sentiment number across the United States. They've been doing it since 1977, I think it is, back when Jimmy Carter was president. We have no leadership. The American people are saying we're battening down the hatches big time. It's the worst sentiment number in history at this point. We are in a recession. A recession gets people to stop doing certain things. Now, here, in the city of Windsor, we're insulated from a lot of things because we have a completely different government here, completely different country. But our tool and die business is dependent upon what goes on in the United States. So we can have some layoffs in the tool and die business. But we're also retooling for electric cars, and they have projects that they're working on, so there's a lot of insulation and all of that. When I talk to tool and die companies, they're like, yeah, we're gangbusters, Brian. We've got so many different projects on the go that are 3, 4, 5 years out. So that builds us insulation here in the city of Windsor. We're getting all kinds of new government money coming in. We're getting new power lines to be able to build new plants. We're getting all kinds of things. So we are very insulated from all of this mess going on around the globe. Windsor is very insulated. We just have to get going on these projects. We got to have leadership on these projects. So going back to the United States, we're already in a recession. It's proven out. The data was just the data. And so at the end of the day, a depression is 4 quarters back to back to back to back of negative 10% GDP growth. We will see what the government numbers are going to be printing, but it is exceptionally bad in the United States right now. Crime is soaring. The Civil War, you hear gunshots all over the place. I've been trying to point that out on my Facebook page, that the Civil War in the United States is just massive. It is just massive. Every day on my YouTube, there's a officer-involved shooting. and the body cameras being released. It's that bad. So where does this end? The midterm elections are coming up. Americans realize that the Democrats don't have a solution to any of this, that the Democrats have created this, that they voted for the Democrats and then to come back and have the worst economy ever, is what the University of Michigan just said. Back to Jimmy Carter's era. Americans are sitting there saying, what did we do? Why did we do this? And so at the end of the day, the midterms can't come fast enough. The midterms will get done and the Republicans will take power again, and they will start getting some of this stuff fixed as much as they possibly can without the White House. But the White House is also going to turn over. That's what the market is also pricing in as well, too. They know. We all know the data sets. There is nothing to hide from. You can't hide from data sets. You can't hide from the truth. You can't hide from any of that. The concept that we are allowing potential murderers to go to Supreme Court justices' houses is a lawless society, and that we're not stopping them, and that we're not, it's a lawless society. It's a spiral, and we're seeing that in the stock market. Companies are saying, geez, where do I go to shelter myself from this storm? How do I shelter myself from the storm? How do I get people to stop smashing my windows? My cost of insurance is soaring. Just off the concept that people smash my windows and walk into my building. How do I stop this? How do I control this? Do I hire an armed security guard 24 hours a day, 7 days a week to stand in my building and shoot back? Is that what it's going to take? Do I need Kyle Rittenhouse to be able to sit here in my building? Just wave at people. Hi, I'm Kyle. How are you doing? Stay away from this building because I'm going to protect it. And so that's one of the questions that we're asking ourselves. The concept that the murder rate in Chicago is just soaring. We don't touch on it. The concept of drug use. You look at the photos of Philadelphia, the streets of Philadelphia, and you sit there and you see the Americans that are just staring off blankly into space as they stand there. It's one of the saddest things in the world. And we're seeing that in the stock market today. Now, I went in today and I played the VIX a little bit. I said, okay, volatility is going to be increasing. It hasn't yet. They're not running the VIX yet, which to me is really strange because there's still some control. We just had one of the economic people from the president come on and he said, oh, things are really good. They're awesome. We have the highest number of this and the highest number of that, and we're doing the most awesomest things in the world. This is awesome. Okay, so what you're saying is that this was all planned by the administration? That we're supposed to crush every American like a bug for some reason? What is it that we're doing this for? Where does this end? I'm now concerned about 30,900, as you know. We're getting very close to that number now as we sell off strongly without any leadership at all. And so I believe we retest our 30,900. I don't have any mathematical model to prove that, but clearly University of Michigan sentiment, the data set shows us we are in a recession, 50.1%. That's the lowest economic number ever printed at the University of Michigan. We are in a recession. And the question becomes, does it become a depression because nobody is at the wheel? Have a great day.